Hi everyone, welcome to my home office. This is Sam from Comb Cutters. This is our YouTube channel. Sit down, pull up a chair, relax, pull up your feet, and just stay a while. This is first of many YouTube videos. We're really excited to launch this aspect of our of showing you the behind the scenes of what happens, the thought process that goes into all of the planning, all of the workshops that we're putting on for you all. If you're in South Florida, I hope that we can see you at one of our workshops if you haven't been to one yet. This is a true, and really as close as we can get to as a true look into what a workshop feels like. Honestly, and I say this probably throughout the video, that each and every group has felt so special and sweet, and it's felt like just such a wonderful group of people at each juncture. And we feel really grateful to have all these wonderful people at our events and connected to us and in our community. And we're so very proud to be providing a space where folks can come and learn and feel safe and feel seen and pick up on a thing or two and get to know the bees just as we've gotten to know them over the years. So Comb Cutters, if you don't know, we are a collective of beekeepers down in South Florida. We have about 20 to 30 hives all over South Florida, in Liberty City, and Little Haiti, and Biscayne Gardens, in West Little River. We keep bees in our backyards and in urban farms and in community gardens, and we're so very proud of the work that we've been able to do up until now. And up until now, we've been thinking about and dreaming about all of the different ways in which we can really just bring to the forefront a lot of the conversations that we have in-house. And that's actually what you're seeing now in terms of the workshops. We all have arrived at beekeeping in various ways. We've all had different life paths, and that also means that we have stepped into our roles as beekeepers with very different perspectives, and are always so giddy to be sharing with each other the ways in which our worlds parallel, and the connections, the similarities, the overlaps that we see between the way we live our lives and the way that the bees move about. And two, I think that we've gotten to know the bees in a way, because we've maintained this open mind and curiosity about being able to follow the lead of the bees and seeing how they move and how they correlate with our world. I think that we've been able to truly and significantly be intentional about the ways in which we are also applying the lessons that we're learning from the bees. And so that's a lot of what we talk about during our workshops. We started off the year with an intro to beekeeping workshop. We moved on to candle making and luminary making. We've had homeschool groups, which is usually our the main folks that come out to or that solicit our workshops, but we're now getting ready to put together writing workshops and art workshops and consensus and communication workshops, all subjects that we've been able to touch on a little bit here and there, but now we're going in depth and truly getting nerdy, the way that we really like to get nerdy behind the scenes. But now we're sort of bringing it to you all and hoping that it resonates and that it's something that you all find valuable and that serves you some way or another, or that allows you to find the ways in which the bees can show up in your life, or the ways in which your work, your life, your calling parallels that of the bees. Anyway, without further ado, here's some of the footage from our workshops. And thank you, Rachel. Shout out to them for capturing a lot of this footage. It gets tricky capturing footage when you're facilitating workshops. So if it wasn't for Rachel, we wouldn't have a lot of what you're going to see today. So let's get going. This was such a wonderful first workshop. One, because it is filled with lovely people that we know and love. Also, because it just, I don't know, the energy was just right. It felt incredibly safe and sweet. There were people from different walks of life, even Kwame from the garden, who's one of the volunteers, was able to join. And in the beginning, before we even got started, we were able to pull up some weeds with Mrs. Robertson and begin the process of harvesting some of the fruits and greens and veggies that have been growing um, in the garden. This is Cersei. Cersei Farm is an incredible space, a true community garden, and of which I haven't seen many. I think that oftentimes we might say community garden, but um, the work doesn't necessarily, or the funds don't necessarily fall in the hands of the actual community. And here we see how incredible it is when people come together and put a lot of work and love and dedication into a space. And the bees love it there. We love bringing people there. This is our teaching garden for a reason. Whatever you want, or you could say something.
Hi. Welcome to the workshop. So excited. It's my first one.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited to talk to people, talk about bees.
Amazing.
Butterfly World shirt on, repping the pollinators.
Of course. So how are you? Yeah. How did you prepare? How do you feel about it today?
So I prepared mostly just by studying the bees, thinking about it, doing research about what it means to be in community spaces a lot. Really dive deep into a lot of articles about third places, which I felt was really important.
Yeah.
Really grounded me and like the need for spaces that aren't constantly based on productivity, creation, and making, and kind of taking the capitalism out of the way that we all look at nature and thinking of it more as something that we lean into as a flow rather than trying to extract from. And that's what I really hope to talk about and form a relationship with today with everyone.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Of course.
It's me again. No footage of the outdoor Afro workshop, unfortunately. But fortunately, actually, because we were really having an incredible time, and that is why we don't have footage, and we took no photos and we took no pictures. Usually what happens is that our dear friend Rachel, they're actually the one who have taken most of the footage that you're seeing from actual workshops. They've been so kind to lend their time and their talents. And so we have this footage because of them. And you know, as as the outdoor Afro workshop proves, if they're not there, then it's a little bit hard to both conduct the workshop and capture. So no footage, but just know that a fun time was had, and that also was an incredibly sweet group. I was just over the moon about that group because I mean, they were our people. They were nature loving Black folks who were overly excited to also be there, and so I think that we all connected individually and obviously collectively. And so 10 out of 10, that one. 10 out of 10. Also, I should say that this, yes, was Baby's first workshop, and they did so good. I mean, there was a little nerves in the beginning, as you saw them explain, but honestly, they really pulled through. This was really cool. Baby's been apprenticing with us on and off for the last couple of years, and we finally made it official so that they're also going to be a part co-owner of our worker co-op that will be comb cutters officially within the next year or so. And so we're really excited to be onboarding them and to give them more and more responsibility. I think that this was an incredibly huge moment for them in terms of like, okay, here we go. I'm jumping in, but also I think was the perfect group to do it with because it wasn't that many folks. But it was still, even though it was a good size group, it wasn't the 20 plus that we usually have. And we took it slow. We kept it chill. We sat down in a circle, something that we've actually, I think we're going to adopt for the rest of the workshops because we ended up doing it again a number of times. And A good time was had, and I think that baby really pulled through, and everything that was meant to happen happened, and it was a beautiful time.
Also was an important site for Tequesta communities and indigenous communities here. There are burial mounds that are found around the Little River in
Maybe the Apis mellifera, and so this is probably what you think of when you hear the word bee, but really there's 20,000 different species of bees, and this is just one, the honeybee.
Where they're like, we don't think you're covered, but like they don't split off, but they stay and they institute their own.
Yes. Well, the workers are the ones who are making the decisions. Yeah. They're making the decisions sensibly. The queen is not at all in charge.
Or like an elder. I like that, you know, elders, they're like, hey. My guess, I don't know the answer to that. I'm not sure if that's something that like
Wow, what an experience. Our very first candle making workshop, the very first time we're bringing folks and working with beeswax. This was such a beautiful time. Folks did not want to go at the end, which was really sweet. But I think we learned a lot in terms of process and in terms of like the flow of this kind of like maker's workshop, you know. I think that there's some tweaks that needed to be made, but by the time the next workshop comes around, we addressed it, and it worked out fine. And it was, you know, it was cool. We were having a great time. As you can see, the flow in terms of like learning about the bees and then opening hives is something that we have tried to mess around with before, but really we feel like that's the way to go. That's the best thing that we can do, regardless of the type of workshop that we do. It just works out best to learn a little bit first and then observe the things that we've learned. So here we are, they're now dipping their candles, and everyone's super giggly, and it becomes a family affair. And you know, it's hard to translate exactly the energy that you feel when you're here at one of our workshops. But absolutely, this was I think one of my favorite ones just because of the familial energy, the laughter, the jokes that happened amongst everyone. Even, you know, even though we didn't all know each other coming into it, there's a lot of folks here from our community. A lot of folks on this particular day joined us at an action that morning, and we're now, you know, we essentially spent the entire day with a lot of the folks that are here. So it was very sweet in that way as well, and really special. And there's Rachel dipping her candle. Um, all right. Yes. One of our favorites for sure. Welcome to Boiling Point. I know you yourself never left. We were just here for a candle dipping workshop, but today we are weeks ahead in time. It's been a couple, maybe 2 weeks since that workshop, and we're getting ourselves ready and processing some of the wax to figure out some details for the workshop. We still have a couple of days to go, but we wanted to, yeah, figure out exactly how thick it should be, making sure that we're thinking of every detail. And sometimes those only come about when you are actually in the act of doing these things, dress rehearsal, so to speak. So that's what we're doing on this day, and we're making sure we're keeping track of how many dips each of the luminaries um, is, and just kind of thinking through any last minute details. Um, we're very excited about what this is going to mean. I mean, especially for me, this is very much a full circle moment. We love what Oh Miami does in terms of the work that they've been able to put together throughout Miami over the years. I'm a poet myself, and so putting this together, bringing this to fruition, being told yes, this is our first yes from any organization, um, is a big deal to us. And we're not taking it lightly, and we're really, really excited.
Like, this is a big space here.
It's pretty big.
Too.
Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's much bigger than I remember.
Bigger than I thought. Somehow it felt smaller the other day.
Yeah.
We should be able to reach the plugs, but I think it's worthwhile to bring 1 or 2 extension cords just in case.
Extension cords, okay. Speaking of words.
Oh, sure. We are at the site of our Oh Miami workshop that's coming up this Sunday. We're so excited about being here at this location at Oak Grove Park for a couple of reasons. One is because we have hives at an urban farm that is just like blocks away, like very, very close to here. Mm-hmm. So it feels really cool to be in the neighborhood where our bees live and fly and survive and thrive, and we really like this space. It's like very beautiful, and it is constructed of a hexagon, which is significant to us and the bees, and like how cool that it happens to be a hexagon that we're working with here. The strongest, most efficient structure that bees can use to build their comb, and it plays some significant roles in Sam's life, this location and history, which I'll let her share herself. But yeah, we're super just excited to be here in this location with this cool structure. So yeah, very cool structure, which we're gonna find out more about shortly. We're very curious about the H on the tops of this. We're just enthralled by the intricacy of it. It's very striking, and we're very excited to like center our whole thing around it, really. So yeah, very magical. Come out Sunday and hang out at this beautiful park surrounded by water and live oak trees and resurrection fern.
Yeah, it's pretty magical. And we're going to be here in the morning time, which is, proving to be just a beautiful time of day. There's so much life here, just like bustling about, people walking, taking their morning walks, exercising, playing at the playground. It's just the ducks. We're just out and about, and yeah, we're very excited to be here and to share space with all of it and everyone and all of you. Here we are, finally. It's the day of the Oh Miami Festival. Um, I mean, this is the part where we are prepping, but really everything's done. People are arriving. We sold out, and there's people on a waiting list. And there's a couple of them that showed up hoping that they could just be able to participate. We were able to accommodate everyone. Thankfully, the birds are birding, the people are waiting, and we're just kind of doing every last little bit of detail that we have left. Um, Everything has gone as smoothly as we could hope for. The park staff has been incredible. That morning we arrived, and there was some confusion about, whether the event was happening or not, but we right away were able to get help and um, get the tables out there and the chairs, and um, it's been such a breeze. Here we are. Baby was at the observation hive station, talking to everyone. Folks are going around the beautiful structure and dipping their balloons, um, and creating their luminaries. Uh, Once everyone dipped
Did
their
someone claim
luminaries, they were
Sade?
able to adhere
I
their
love it.
poems and
I
their
love it.
petals.
Yes.
Here, this group was actually listening to Sade and just quietly having a wonderful time. And just, when you get in the zone and you just get lost in your creativity, that's exactly what was happening. And we were next to the water, and we were just, it was a vibe. It was a little vibe. I loved it. I was I think that this was probably my favorite part of it, because I know how good it can feel to do this and to get to do it and to get to do it with everyone, together and work on this new project. I think was really exciting for everyone. Um, Once again, I'm going to say that this was a very special group. It was a great mixture of folks we didn't know and folks we did know. And here's Sarah and Baby and one of our volunteers who's also a teacher and a library lover. Everyone was incredible, and a great time was had. last few minutes of cleanup time. Any reflections?
I am just so happy about the day. It was really so cool to see our vision come to fruition and come to life. And so cool just to have the opportunity through O Miami to do it. And just so cool how many things aligned for us about this project and this location. And something that is just so beautiful is this sculpture that we just don't know the history of, but we love it. And we were noticing that as people were finishing their beeswax luminaries, the flowers embedded in the wax just matched exactly with the sculpture.
With the golden color and then the pops of
incredible
greens and flowers.
To be here.
Yeah, so beautiful.
So,
yeah, it really was very special. Yeah, it was incredibly special. So proud of us for, you know, putting that together and taking the vision into reality. And so special that we found this place, that we had the support of folks like Sarah that were just so wonderful throughout, and so chill and open, and gave us so much creative liberty.
The support of the park staff who we didn't, I don't know if they knew, if they really understood what was going to be happening here, but they ended up, five park staff or something came over and participated in the workshop.
But from jump, we're like excited and enthusiastic about can we come?
And
of
just
course.
Ready to dive in. And very cool to be able to feel like we were collaborating with them as well, not just at the park, but that the park was part of it.
Yeah. And even, watching everyone work together and quietly to the tune of Sade, you know, to dive deep, and then afterwards just be so very full of, I don't know, just joy and creativity, and just like bursting with like gratitude. That was,
and
so fulfilling.
People really loved their creations. People felt a lot of joy at having created these, you know, these orbs, these luminaries.
I'm like floating. There was at one point someone said, "Oh my goodness, everyone's just lovingly looking at their luminaries." I'm like, that's such a beautiful
praise.
And just vision.
So we're so grateful.
Absolutely.
All
right, thanks everybody.